Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing some things. We're going to be doing Icarus episode 3, okay? Y'all have been looking forward to this one. I've definitely gotten some comments about it. And I'm pretty excited for this one. It will be fun. That is all I have to say. Well, I probably shouldn't just unpause, but yeah. So basically, we had a bunch of countries formed, and oh my gosh, look at how big this country is. Though, like, goodness gracious. Um, and we're definitely gonna have some more conflicts down the line. I think we had our first one that was within the north, around here. And I think that was interesting. We also had some coalitions formed, and yeah. So we even had the Antarctica be discovered. I think that's kind of funny. We also had South America discovered here, by the Bouchard Kingdom. But right off the bat, I can tell you these people are definitely so they kind of have some growing discontentment, right? So definitely gonna have some Esperanto. E-A-I-O. Miriana. There we go. Miriana. Good for you, Miriana. It's kind of an interesting name. I wish these people the best. I guess this boat here, I don't know, like maybe somebody went on like a very long expedition, might I add. Like if this were, I'm imagining this as like world size, right? But obviously this is Worldbox, so it's not exactly like world sized per se. Look at this. Look at all this cavalry. I mean, what? And so I said that we were probably going to have some more conflicts earlier. And the Andres Kingdom, right? They're united with Tanzania. So they can't really go to war with each other unless Andres just wants to straight up stab them in the back. But you know. But so this king right over here, the Serhat, like where is this king? Okay, so this is Serhat Muktafi, right? I mean, you could tell. I mean, this is the Serhat kingdom, right? And let's just say these guys want a little bit more land. I mean, they're definitely going to be a little bit more imperialistic, I guess. And they're also kind of doing this for like, I guess, cultural reasons, because a fair bit of the north here, specifically in this area, is Sogdian, I guess. A little bit of in this population. So maybe they're kind of using that as an excuse to start this kind of conflict to, I don't know, liberate the people in some weird way. But yeah, the Sarhat are going to declare war on the north. And now we have our second conflict, I want to say. Oh my. Uh-oh. But yeah, this is a pretty chunky war because so these two are the only kingdoms that aren't like actually like allied, but they have a fair bit of land. I mean, the north the North had this area over here, but then these guys allied with people over here, and so the North can't really just invade this land without consequence, basically, because then the allies are gonna join in, or the coalition, the members of the coalition are gonna join in, I guess. Yeah, look, the death of this guy in the year 152. Wow, damn. I guess he maybe died in his home. Or could have been assassinated. You never know. But yeah, so speaking of cultures earlier, right? I think these guys, I'm not really sure what their cultures are. Yeah, they're a little bit different, these two. So I guess this area here is like the Ottoman culture. And we've got the Mycenaeans, I think. I want to say that's how it's pronounced, right? We've also got the Luwian. There's also another Sogdian culture. Probably should rename that. We're gonna call this the Delo culture, I guess. Kind of mix the two names of where the culture was founded, I guess. And but yeah, then these are the cultures over here on the African continent. We've also got a little bit of the Mycenaeans in the Madagascar region. So that's pretty great. Oh, another one, dude. Dude, what? Again, dude. The era. I think we're still kind of in the era of the king right now. Um, and I mean, we're definitely still have ruling kings. We haven't really like had elections per se. Um, Although I've been thinking on like how I would exactly do those elections. Um, but yeah, no, and especially in this country, maybe there's kind of a growing resentment towards a king. I don't know. It's just especially within this area. This area formed because they didn't really like being a part of the North Kingdom. And so they've separated and they've gained some land here in the African continent here. But yeah, so there's definitely going to be a growing uh, resentment of kingship, so to say. You could argue that. So this is Kiwan Kameki. Okay, maybe that's somebody I would wish the best to. Um, Somebody maybe that is more of a leader, I guess, would be my second guess. Just somebody that's already more like known to some because he's kind of a part of the king's inner circle, so to say. Um, and as you can see, Barrow, this guy over here, Kessi Rama, is chilling. He do be chilling. And then there's your third candidate. Um, so we'll kind of see who out of the three becomes the next king of Sinlock here. And depending on who becomes king, there may very well be yet even more conflicts. And, ooh, Xiao Lian is dead. What? Wait, who's going to become king then? Ooh, maybe it's Jeremy, or maybe it's Nijas. That is a very suspect name. Oh man, there's a new king of the south. Ooh, and it was Najaz Richard that became king. Okay. Oh, And he's martialistic, so you know what that means. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So basically, because of that trait, they're already going to stir up some conflict, especially with the Andres Kingdom. They're just kind of more close by, and, you know, why not? And plus, this country isn't allied. Although this country is, with the Tanzania, right? So they'll probably get some support. But yeah, so their king is participating in the war here between the Andres kingdom and the Xiaolian dynasty, as their king is martialistic and they wanted to avenge Xiaolian, I guess in a way, and I mean they are a dynasty and they're gonna try. But yeah, no, and the Serhat in the north are still going to war, and that war is definitely also going to be a long one. It is definitely pandemonium. But anyway, so let's just say that the Andres kingdom is starting to lose land. Okay. Uh, uh, but yeah, so they're kind of gaining a little bit of land, you know. Nothing too crazy. Nothing like, like earth-shattering. I mean, they're kind of gaining on some sides of the front, like over here, and so yeah, they're definitely filling up those gaps. Maybe they'll expand a little bit over here. If they can do that, can they not do that? Oh, dude, they gained the Dubai field. No, what? No, convert back. You know what? Copenhagen is probably going to fall to the Shaolian dynasty as they're just kind of marching in. But, the Andres kingdom is also marching in. And they're definitely going to try to see if they can get the land back, that is for sure. And the Shaolian dynasty is kind of split a little bit, and it's in this area has been practically encircled. Yeah, no, it's the Shaolian dynasty is not doing too hot right now in this war. But they're trying. And, this kingdom is going to convert back once more, at least going to try. And we're going to, oh my gosh, it's probably not even going to be able to be properly defended. I mean, the Shaolian dynasty hardly has any armies in that area. They're like literally everywhere else. Oh man. Okay, well, I guess they'll gain shock as they kind of, just kind of go down that area. And they're kind of going towards Podgorica Field. Podgorica Field. Interesting name there. Oh, and the Andres Kingdoms kind of splits this little enclave here once more. And yeah, no, dude, the dynasty is not too happy about that. And so what they're gonna do, they're gonna kind of do something that's a little unexpected, but they're gonna declare war on. Well, oh fuck. Anyway, so this part of the Andres Kingdom here, they're gonna mobilize into Tanzania. Because they want some of that yummy yummers land. And I guess they're already at war with them. But yeah, so I guess they'll kind of start marching right on down to Xognian, and and Tanzania is kind of split in half. So Tanzania's mostly pretty much just in Damascus right now. Um, and they're not doing too good. You know, especially with being cut in half by the imperialistic king here. Like, not fun. The armies within Kenor are gonna advance within Zephyr. So yeah, they sorry North. Yeah, you're kind of gonna lose that that village there, bud. Um, and you know, this area here, Sinlock, they're just kind of chilling. I don't know. You know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So the Sinlock, they don't really mind the Serhat, but they don't really know them either. So, you know. And so basically, people are starting to grow a little bit more ambitious, right? They're starting to kind of want to try to make their own changes in the world, so to speak. And it's, oh my goodness. Wait, the Shaolian dynasty might gain back a village here. Oh my. Ooh. Ooh, look at that. Oh my god, the Shaolian dynasty, dude. And so it looks like the Shaolian dynasty might lose this little bit of the land here. And the Andres kingdom might kind of stab Tanzania in the back a little bit. Although, are they going to give the land to their ally, or are they going to just engulf it for themselves? I have no clue. And so, you know, these two countries, okay, they're kind of going to stop it there. All right, and then they are going to have some kind of treaty of some sort. They literally just went right where they started. I mean, what was the point of that? Right? It just makes you think, what was the point of that conflict? I mean, but yeah, oh, it looks like these guys are also still kind of at war. And, you know, they're going to march on down to Colombo Grove. And just when you think all hope is lost, right? These guys are allied, right? So these guys are going to do something a little strange. And the North kind of makes a plea to the coalition of the Triumph, which, mind you, these guys used to be a part of the North. So, begrudgingly, you know, they accept. Okay, there we go. So now they're going to be a part of the coalition of Triumph, and now it's even bigger. And because of that, this does mean that there is going to be entry of these countries within the war here. So, just good luck, man. I mean, they got a fair bit of land, okay, and it's kind of gonna stalemate almost like just a little bit, just a tiny smidge of a stalemate. I mean, although the alliance dwarfs the population size of Serhat, but you know, Serhat is Serhat. And speaking of Serhat, there are certain people that don't really like the war. And it's definitely going to be these people up here. And so they're going to basically separate from the Serhat, whatever. I don't know if they had like a deal or something. And obviously the Serhat is not going to be very happy. But you know, there's these countries look at each other like, well, we should probably ally here. Not only that, well, I mean, that's kind of stupid. Hold on. Basically, what's going to happen is that these guys are going to convert to that kingdom, and it's a now this will become the, I guess you could say, the United Kingdom. So this is probably going to be the only, like, reference to actual, like, Earth. Like, this is, so the version of Earth that this is, okay, I just want to keep reminding people that this is Earth after the zombie apocalypse, okay? And so this side of the world was the last to go down. And so they're the first to re-pop up civilizations, right? And basically, you know, we all started right over here, somewhere around here. And yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool so far. It's been pretty good. And you know, now that these islands have been discovered, they're also probably going to discover Iceland. I mean, oh yeah, look at that. So on this expedition here, they've started something on this island over here. Once again, for right now, just ignore all of this nonsense. Just all of this crap up here. Okay, just ignore it. It's all of this stuff is going to be meaningless really soon. Okay. But yeah, so we're just gonna have. Oh, looks like some more parts of South America are being discovered here. That's cool. I didn't see that. Sorry. But yeah, another part of Antarctica here got taken by another kingdom, and it looks like half of a. Yeah, no, that's totally not going to start a dispute or anything. Just absolutely not. And also, it's now been, I think, 10 years, 12 years. So, I mean, hey, the world is looking mighty good. And so now we've got Lannister over here, basically Iceland. You know, here's Iceland and Greenland. Tell me, which one's green and which one's actually made of ice? But yeah, so in this area of Surhut, there's still definitely a very nice conflict going on right here. Is maybe the North just kind of overruns the forces because they just keep sending more meat wave after meat wave after meat wave, and the other side's gonna be like, okay, and basically I'll show you what the peace treaty looks like in 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is basically, I know it looks weird, but trust me, things will look much better in the future. Oh my god, another Kadir. No, Kadir. Why, Kadir? Why did you die? Damn it. So basically, the North is going to gain a little bit of land. The Surhut's going to gain a little bit of their land back. But the Sinlock, they want a little bit of land too, because they're like, well, we had these guys allied with us, so we helped out a little bit. We kind of deserve something, you know? And so that something is definitely what they got. That is for sure. And then we could make this girl. Oh, they're part of the Vet Kingdom. Okay. So yeah, they're gonna gain this village right here, and I'm gonna expand it here. The Mauritius Collective is probably not gonna like that real much. I mean, I probably wouldn't. You know, it's like, what are you doing? You know, like, what are you doing? What's going on? Why are you bordering us right now, the North? What's happening? Are we fighting right now? Anyway, so there's going to be a discovery, okay, This is going to be a little silly, but there's going to be a very thick kind of mountain between the Panama. Maybe there were some earthquakes, that happened, and there was an earthquake in the last video. So here we go, earthquake, baby. Oh yeah. Look at that. Kind of like a big, nice, thick mountain range. I don't know why that sounds... I'm making it sound weird. That is the mountain range. There you go. Look at that. Absolute peak. And so what we're going to call this mountain... The people are probably going to call this Phoenix Peak. As... we're not really in the era of the Phoenix, but... We're just going to call this the Phoenix Peak, or Mount Phoenix. And it's going to separate these things here. And it was like a pretty major, like, geological tectonic plate shifts. And all right, so it has been discovered by the people of Lannister. Okay. The people of Lannister over here. Okay. So these wonderful people are going to... Well, some of them. Including that chicken. They're going to discover... They're going to go on a pretty major voyage. And they're going to go on some wastelands. So, in this area, they're kind of just going to explore around this part of Canada. So they kind of, maybe like they sent a ship or something and like it went all the way over here. And so they kind of just join these guys, And we're going to make this homie the king. Okay. I think we can make this homie the leader. And so there we go. So we've got two leaders here. So let's look at their king. The new king here of this area here is Mansour. Okay, Mansour. Oh, looks like the United Kingdom discovered Greenland. That's nice. Good for you, United Kingdom. I'm proud of you. But yeah, basically, there's ruins of the previous world here, as you can tell. There's not like too many ruins, as they kind of just... I don't know. They kind of just went to oblivion, to be honest. At least the previous world, huh? I mean, look at this, dude. This area went hella low in altitude, and so basically, they're kind of talking with the rest of the world, asking like what they should really do about this, and they're probably gonna maybe like make some kind of like quarantine zone. I'm not sure how we can quite do that. That's about as good as I'm gonna get it, TBH. But yeah, so the quarantine zone here is a part of the Lannister kingdom. So that'll probably always be a part of the Lannister kingdom, at least for right now. And so I think in this area here, okay, we're now in the year 172, which that's pretty cool. I think I'm going to have my first kind of elections here. And what's going to happen is their current king might pass away of an ailment. So let's look at some of the people that could possibly become king. And so this area specifically, they're going to have Latif Gnazawi. Okay. And we've got Yoon on the Yejekui. Yeah, sure, that's a name. Anyway, so basically their king just kind of, let's just say something happens to him, and a lot of people are speculating. Okay, a lot of people are speculating. But yeah, we have those 3 candidates. I wonder who's going to win. It could be none of them, you know? And there's a new king of Kadir. That is great. And it looks like it's going to be Kazazawi is now going to be the new, I guess, like, I almost want to say they're like a consulship. Like, we're in a weird period of the AZ world where they're kind of trying to pick up the broken pieces of the last world, so to speak. You know, they're just now finding some remnants in this area, and they're quarantining this area. They found a little bit of a zombie infection going on over here, so there are still zombies. And there has been a lot more armies forming because of the conflicts and stuff that kind of happened in this episode. So the Andres Kingdom, there's a certain particular part of it that isn't really happy about the war that they had, especially specifically with the Andres Kingdom. Because they just think, you know, we could probably do better than that. And they're going to gain a lot of these villages here are going to gain. There we go. And so now we got a kind of a new kingdom here. I guess I don't really know what to name it. The Ecuador jurisdiction. That's kind of funny. Who becomes king here? Ooh. Looks like it's going to be Junior. This guy. No, it's not. That's not quite it. Okay. Here he is. Jeez. But yeah, no, this king is definitely going to be martialistic. And yeah, that this area here is definitely not happy with this kingdom over here. They just not happy. And just to further kind of twist the knife into the wound, they kind of these 2 guys, right? They're gonna form an alliance because they kind of agree that this guy sucks, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So why not? So we're gonna have this alliance and then this alliance. It may not be as big because these 2 countries have a pretty sizable population. But these guys are definitely going to poke on some of these smaller guys. And they're going to start off with the Falasiliavo. And the Shaolian dynasty is going to light the fire. That is Asia. This is mainland China. A part of the Zagalaro apparently have mainland China. So these 2 are kind of looking at each other because these guys are small, and they're thinking of allying with these guys. So I think that would be great. That would be optimal. The alliance. So we'll just call this the Hannibal Coalition, and the Senju are not real happy about that. That is for sure. Because they would love to have more land down here, but well, it looks like Oceania has been discovered by the Senju Kingdom. But these guys are definitely going to be way more different than the Senju. So they're going to be inspired, and these guys are going to join each other in their own epic adventure. Okay. And we need to have peace amongst these 2 and the Nigeria domain. All right, let's see who becomes king here. I bet you it's going to be this guy. Yep. Oh, man. It was the guy that we were just looking at. It's this man right here. We were just looking at him. That's funny. But yeah, I'm really excited for the quarantine stuff, though. Like, actually, though, I'm pretty excited. And yeah, so we're gonna have this be the Mutawakil agreement. Agreement. There we go. But yeah, so especially the Lannister kingdom, they're gonna really like find more and more of the previous civilized world stuff. Like maybe there was some cultural items, or I don't even know. It could be really anything, theoretically. And yeah, I think that is going to kind of be it for today's episode of Icarus. We are in so this kind of went by like 20 years or so. And we had our first election, which was in the Mauritius Collective. We had a couple of conflicts, and we had a war of conquest between the Xiaolian dynasty and the other kingdom in mainland China there. Yeah. Yeah, we went through 26 years. And we've got some new countries here and there. Little bitty new countries. We've got Oceania here. Although they're still called the Nigerian domain. So we're just going to call this the Osha. Or Zosha. It's kind of an interesting name. And another thing, too, is like some ideologies are starting to form. We're having like martialistic kings. We're having more diplomatic, maybe more democratic kings. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Icarus. I know I did. I really enjoy making these videos, and I'm going to be enjoying continually going into our after zombie world, I guess, storyline, lore, something. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Maybe if you guys have any suggestions down below of what we should do in the next episode, leave them down below. I love hearing from y'all. Until the next episode or the next video, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.